What's up everyone, it's Austin Rutherford. So my girlfriend and I actually just started looking for a new house here in South Florida. We moved here from Ohio to South Florida about 7 months ago. We're absolutely loving it. One of my dreams was always to have ocean views, which we have now, so it's a dream come true. But to be honest with you, moving from Ohio to South Florida was a big financial jump for me, right? Because our living expenses in Ohio versus our living expenses in Florida, where we're at right now, which isn't like a McMansion or anything like that, but it's double what we were paying in Ohio. And to be honest, it was scary. Making the decision to move down here was a big financial hurdle that I had to get over because I hate monthly overhead. I hate having a monthly bill going out every month, whether that's a subscription, whether it's payroll, whether it's rent, whether it's mortgage, whatever it is. I hate it. It's something that bothers me, but it's a necessary thing to do in business and life and everything that you want to do. Sometimes you have to have monthly overheads. And I'm actually in the process of talking with my banker to give me the numbers on how much house that we can qualify to buy, because there's a certain debt to income ratio, which we'll get to in a second. So what I can afford to buy, and I'm having some conversations with him about how people, qualify for houses and what they end up buying. And it's really kind of mind-boggling to me. And I wanted to share my thoughts with you on this topic because I think it's why most people never get ahead in life. So we're about to jump into it here. If you could smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, it'd be greatly appreciated. So like I said, I shot him a message. I was like, yo, I'm looking for a new house down in South Florida. Put some numbers together. Let me know how much I can qualify for. So he has to run numbers on the debt to income. So it's how much income you have coming in versus how much debt you have, how much liabilities you have, car payments, mortgage payments, student loan debt, whatever it is. And that percentage qualifies you for a certain dollar amount of house that you can afford, right? So I got into it and he gave me back the numbers, and my first thought was, why in the world would I spend that much money on a house? And by the way, my 2021 income was not calculated into that. And my 2021 income was more than double my 2020 income. So I really could afford like a whole bigger house, probably double the dollar amount that they told me on this pre-approval letter. And honestly, even with that additional income, it's still very uncomfortable. And I don't know why I would spend the amount of money that they said I could spend on a house. So you might be saying, well, why is that? Because they tell you the max dollar amount that you can pay. After you factor in all the other debt, the max amount that you can afford to finance for a new property. So basically, like if you want to push it to the kilt and be max debt leveraged, how much house you can afford. So here are my thoughts on this, because a lot of people see that number and then go buy a house for that number. I'm not even going to buy a house for half of that number, right? So here's my thoughts on this, and bear with me. Why in the world would anybody ever want to max out their total liabilities comparable to their income? This means that every month, the money that you make, you're spending. Every single month, money comes in, money goes out, which means you have no money to invest, which means you have no extra money to do anything, which means that you're stressed out every single day just trying to figure out how to make that money to then be able to pay your debt and pay your bills. You gotta understand, getting ahead is by saving money and investing that money into future assets, into future income. So if you're spending all the money that you're getting today, how are you able to save any of that for the future? You're never going to get ahead living like that. And most people who get these pre-approval letters for 500 grand and spend 500 grand, I'm sure you've seen memes all over the internet. They have this big luxurious house and they have a $50 couch, or they don't even have a couch, or their mattress is on the floor and they don't even have a headboard for the mattress, because they want to look rich with a house and not actually like be rich. They can kind of afford something, but they can't afford to upkeep it. It's like buying a super nice car and then complaining about having to put, I don't even know what it is, the premium gas in it because it's an extra 30 cents a gallon. Like, you shouldn't own the car if you got to worry about an extra 30 cents a gallon. Me personally, if I buy a new house, I want to be able to enjoy it. I don't want to be stressed out about how to, afford this payment, or even working 10, 20-hour days just to be able to afford the payment. Like, I want to be comfortable in a house where I know that I can afford it and not have to stress out about all those other things. Unfortunately, most people get caught up in this cycle all the time. If they get a raise in their job, guess what? They go finance a car and they pay the raise amount, they're paying in debt now. They never even got a chance to save anything. Or maybe they had a new sale. You sold a flip and it's the biggest profit that you've ever made. And then you go out and you buy a bunch of like Gucci or Louis bags or purses, or get a jet to go on vacation, and you spend all that money. No, the reason to make more money is to use the extra money to then start investing. So what is the definition of sacrifice? Sacrifice is giving up the present value of something for a future greater value. That's sacrifice, that's investing, by the way. That's how you get ahead in life. I remember for me, I was driving a 2004 Toyota Camry for the first few years of my business, and I was making $100,000+ multiple years in a row, and I was still driving a 2004 Toyota Camry because I wasn't comfortable spending extra money. I wanted to invest that extra money so that I could actually get ahead in life. And then I was making $500,000+ a year, still driving an '04 Toyota Camry, and I decided I wanted a new car. So I wanted an Audi A8 or a Jaguar XJL. So I went to the dealership, I was like, hey, here's what I want. When you get one of these in, let me know. By the way, the budget was 30 to 40 grand. It's money, but it's not like, you know, a $250,000 car. So they called me. They're like, yo, Austin, we just got this black Jaguar in. You gotta come check it out. It's exactly what you want. So I was like, bet, jumped in the car, started driving up to the dealership. Halfway to the dealership, it hit me. It was like, I don't even deserve this. Like, why am I spending this money? Like, I didn't feel worthy of spending $35,000 on a Jaguar. So I actually called one of my mentors and explained to him the way I was thinking. And my mentor was like, gave me a couple reasons. He was like, one, shut up. You've worked for it for the last 4 years. You've been driving a 2004 Toyota Camry. At some point, you got to enjoy the fruits, right? Secondly, it's going to pay for itself. And I was like, well, how's that going to happen? Like, I'm the one paying for it. How's it going to pay for itself? He's like, it's a conversation starter. It'll create conversations with new people and get you into rooms that you never could have got into without having a nicer car. You know, you pull up in an '04 Toyota Camry, it doesn't really look like you're making that much money. You pull up in a, you know, semi-looking decent Jaguar, you know, it's a different type of conversation. No matter what it is, perception's reality, right? It just is what it is. You can argue with me all you want. Perception is reality. So I got on the phone, talked to him. He told me those things. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go buy this car. Finally, after making $500,000 in a year, I upgraded to a $35,000 Jaguar. And now I have a Rolls Royce and a Range Rover. The thing is, I bought the Range Rover before that, but I didn't buy the Rolls Royce until I made over $1 million in a year. Again, I could have bought it a long time ago. Like I could have bought a Bugatti when I bought the Rolls Royce, cash wise, right? But like, why? What's the point of doing that? Like, I want my money in assets. I don't want to be, you know, look rich now, but have $0 in the future. Zero assets, zero income, zero of anything else, but you just have really nice things right now. It doesn't make any sense. So sacrifice the present value for a future greater value. Don't go out there and buy that Hellcat. You know, put some money up into rental properties first, or stocks, or crypto. Invest into the future before you buy what you want now. Listen, at the end of the day, maxing out your income to debts is just stressful. You don't want to do it. You can never get ahead. You never have money to invest. You're going to be like house poor. You're not going to have nice things in the house. You're not going to be able to travel. You're not going to be able to enjoy life because you're going to be stressed out about affording that new car or that new house. So for me, honestly, like I said, I'm probably going to end up buying like a house of like 50 to 60% of what I could actually qualify for, because I don't want to have to worry about that all the time. Like, how am I going to make this payment? No, like, I want peace, right? I want a nice house. Make sure you smash this like button and drop a comment below and say house tour. So when I buy the house, if you guys want to see the new house, it's going to be like a nice little McMansion. But if you want to see it, I'll do a house tour once we get that property. But like, I want to be able to enjoy it and not stress out about money all the time. So here's my secret. Build passive income to then pay for your liabilities. So buy rental properties, buy crypto, buy stocks, buy investments that pay you every single month, so then you can actually afford whatever you want to be able to afford. How do you do that, right? Live on 50% of your income. So if you make $5 grand a month, figure out how to live on $2,500 a month. You can be like, well, Austin, you know, I can't live on that. It's me, my husband, 2 kids. Like, I can't do that. Cool. Learn a skill to then make more money, to then be able to live on 50% of your income. If you can't live on 50% of your income, you need to get more skilled. It's that simple. Like, if you're flipping burgers or at Chase, like making phone calls or something, you need to learn a better skill. You got to learn how to invest. You got to learn how to flip houses. You got to learn how to wholesale. You got to learn how to trade options. You got to learn how to sell. You got to learn how to market. You got to learn something to then increase your income. So you have enough income, and then you can actually live on 50% of your income. When your income goes up, don't max out your income. When your income goes up, stay living on the same 50%. Income goes up, take that money, invest it. Again, do it again and again and again and again. As money comes in, stay living on the same amount, invest the extra money, and then that extra money will start paying you more and more and more and more, and your income will continue to go up, and you can increase it living on 50% the entire way up. When you do that, you actually have investments, you have passive income, you have money stacked away into the future. You gave up the present value for a greater future value, and your income continued to grow and your life continued to grow with it. Don't max it at 100%, max it at like 50, maybe 60 or 70% of what you're actually making today, so you can have a better future. So for me, we're buying a new house, waiting to find the right one. It's not going to be all of what I can afford because I think that's dumb. But comment below, smash that like button if you want to see a house tour once we get the new house. So make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell as well so you can get all this content going forward. As always, appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one.